everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 5-month pregnancy update. Rory's on the floor, so if you see me like looking around a lot, it's because I'm keeping my eyes on him because he's so mobile at the moment. He is just into everything. So I haven't pre-planned this video at all, like I'm just going to be winging it and trying my best to remember the last month. Pregnancy has plateaued again, which is really nice. I feel like my pregnancies do definitely do that. So my first trimester with Rory was horrendous, my second trimester was amazing apart from a few wobbles, and third trimester was pretty standard, like beach whale, fed up, all that kind of stuff. This pregnancy so far, I had 1 week in my first trimester which was horrendous, of nausea and stuff. Then it all went really calm. Then my second trimester kicked in and I felt quite low and quite moody and exhausted. I just couldn't do anything. I was exhausted in my second trimester, which is really odd because in my first trimester, with my first pregnancy, it was the other way around. So yeah, and I was really struggling with energy and just feeling really sluggish all the time. And now it seems to have plateaued, my energy levels are better and yeah, mood is better and just everything's a bit more consistent again, which is really nice. And I hope it stays that way for as long as possible really. But there isn't really too much to talk about. Like normally I do it quite chunked up and I will talk about like symptoms, cravings, blah blah blah, but there isn't really anything to talk about that because like I said, it's been a pretty smooth month. We've had it reconfirmed that she is definitely a girl. Well, they say definitely, but you know what I mean, like 2 people now have said that she's a girl. We've had a second opinion at my 20-week scan. I had my 20-week scan this week and everything is fine. Oh my god, Rory, stop. She is what are you doing? She's really well, she's doing fine. She still seems quite a chilled out child compared to Rory at his 20-week scan, but there are some concerns over my placenta being in an unfavourable place at the moment. It is very low, and I did have my suspicions about that because I haven't felt her that much compared to how much I felt Rory. I kind of thought maybe it's because I was distracted with him, or maybe it's because she's a little bit smaller than him. Not that I know that, I don't know that at all, but my bump is smaller, so I just kind of assumed. So I just kind of assumed that she was smaller, but I don't actually know if that's even true. But my placenta is around the front, which it was with Rory, so I always thought that was weird because I felt Rory loads, like he was always, yeah, I always felt him really early on and just a lot. And they said that I might not because I had a placenta, anterior placenta I think it's called. But yeah, no, I never had any concerns over feeling him and stuff. I have to go back at 34 weeks to see if it's moved, and if it hasn't moved then I am automatically up for a cesarean section. So if you don't know already from my channel, I had a cesarean with my first pregnancy and I am really hoping to have a vaginal birth this time around. So it is a little bit of a setback. I'm not overly worried at this point because I have heard loads of people have the same problem and their placentas have moved and they were quite confident that it would still do so. It just feels like a bit of a thing now that, like, I don't know, it just feels like extra, like, I don't know, it just feels like something else, if that makes sense, basically. Like Rich walked out and he was like, I bet you a tenner that will be you will have to have a cesarean, because it's just our luck, like we just are that couple where things that happen. It's also really funny as well because all of Rich, like, so again, if you don't know, Rich has got 3 kids and I have 1. So one of his 3. So he had 2 before we met and now we have Rory and now we have another on the way. So all of Richard's children are born around like landmark days. So his first baby is born the day after New Year's Day. His second baby is born the day before Halloween, and Rory is born the day after Halloween. And we kind of always knew that Rory would be at a landmark because his due date is bonfire night, and then he was born on the 1st of November. So yeah, all of his babies have managed to fall into this this system, basically. It's just a really odd thing that's happened, and we were laughing because this baby is due on the 26th of February, so isn't around any like landmark or anything, and we said about it in a midwife appointment and the midwife was like, well, unless she's early, and then it will be Valentine's Day, which would be her 12 days early. Yeah. And Rory was early but only by 4 days. And then in the scan they were like, if you have to have a cesarean, the baby will have to be delivered early because you can't go into labour naturally, and it will be about 2 weeks early. So we were like, oh, there's another thing that could, you know, I'm quite superstitious in that sense, like I'm really odd. So I was like, oh, there's another bloody thing going against it. Anyway, fingers crossed that it's nothing. So I do have my VBAC appointments in a couple of weeks. I was supposed to have one a couple of weeks ago, but completely forgot, so it's been rescheduled for a couple of weeks, in a couple of weeks time. I actually didn't forget, I didn't go because I had baby sensory groups, so I'm going to all of my appointments whilst it's half term and the groups are off. Rory, what are you doing? So yeah, so short to Placenta basically an update, because I know a lot of people are following this like my pregnancy because they're interested in the VBAC side, so I do now have that kind of concern, and I am a little bit worried, but at the same time, if it did end up in a cesarean because of this, then it's completely out of my control and I would just deal with it in that way. My arm's stuck. And then the other thing I want to talk about, but I think I'm going to leave it there after this and make it a really quick update, is that I have been suffering with pregnancy anxiety again, which is really, really odd. Like, I had it in my first pregnancy. I've never had any form of anxiety or anything like that. And then in my first pregnancy I was struck really bad for about 2 weeks with the anxiety, and I would just have, it was around the same time as well, so around 19-20 weeks, 18-19 weeks. Yeah, and I would just cry for no reason. I didn't want to go anywhere or get self-conscious, not self-conscious, what is it when you don't like small spaces? I can't think, but yeah, I wasn't in a very good place for about 2 weeks. I took some time off work at that time, and really suffered quite badly, and I thought it was a fluke with that pregnancy, and then it came back with this one, and again it came back with a really big bang at 19 weeks pregnant, and it was really bad timing. It came back when Rich was away. I had to go to London last week for work. I had to go and film some stuff. And leave Rory behind. I was really anxious about that. I was anxious about leaving him with a childminder, which I have no reason to do so at all. He goes to childminder every week, but I really didn't want to do it. Even thinking about it was making me feel like I wanted to cry. And then he got poorly in the same week, and I was anxious about that. And I just kept on, again, crying for no reason whatsoever. I was just panicking about things. I would just worry unnecessarily about stuff that wasn't going to happen. So that did happen again, and it was horrible. I don't really want to talk about how I managed it because I don't know. I don't really have any huge advice, but I did just try to be really good with my diet for the week and also get enough sleep. So the one night where it was really bad, when I had been to London, and that is quite an anxiety causing thing, but I just went to bed when Rory went to bed at 7 and got 12 hours sleep with him, and yeah, like I said, just tried to get a really good diet. So I drank like lots of smoothies, ate some fruit, took my multivitamins religiously, and just tried to like care for my mental health in the simplest way possible basically. But I don't know, I don't really feel like I did cope with it that well, because there was just a lot of me like texting Rich like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. But I do want to talk about it because I don't feel like there is very much awareness for like anxiety in pregnancy and just how sporadic it can be and how random it is. I got really shocked in my first pregnancy that it just kind of came out of nowhere. So yeah, it is just something that happens, and it's obviously hormonal and it's horrible. I do feel like it's important to talk about it really. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to update on. And there isn't much to say about this month because, like I said, there haven't really been any cravings, there haven't really been any symptoms. I will show you the baby bump, which has suddenly come out of nowhere. I do need to get into stretch mark stuff because I'm really bad at oh, I have to stand up. I am really bad, there she is. I am really bad at any form of stretch mark prevention. I was terrible with Rory until it was like too late. I don't think I'm gonna get away with it this time round. Ow! I thought I'd get away with it because my belly was like already stretchy from his pregnancy. But it looks like there's a couple already creeping in, so I do need to kind of do something about it. But yeah, I won't say too much more because there isn't much more to say and I'm just going to be rambling on. But thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Say bye. Say bye. You're not going to, are you? See you in the next one. Bye.